The metabolic pandemic, a global health crisis. In recent decades, we have witnessed an unprecedented rise in metabolic disorders, conditions linked to insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, and energy dysregulation. This phenomenon, often referred to as the metabolic pandemic, is not caused by a single pathogen but by a combination of environmental, dietary, and lifestyle factors. The result? A surge in obesity, type 2 diabetes, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, and cardiovascular disorders, all of which are now among the leading causes of morbidity and mortality worldwide. In this video, we will explore: checkmark the mechanisms underlying metabolic dysfunction, checkmark the key drivers of this global crisis, checkmark evidence-based strategies for prevention and reversal, understanding metabolic dysfunction. Metabolic health is defined by the body's ability to efficiently regulate energy production, nutrient utilization, and hormonal balance. However, chronic metabolic dysfunction disrupts these processes, leading to a cascade of systemic health issues. Key hallmarks of metabolic dysfunction include: 1. Insulin resistance. The diminished ability of cells to respond to insulin, leading to elevated blood glucose and compensatory hyperinsulinemia. This is the primary driver of type 2 diabetes and many more health problems. 2. Mitochondrial dysfunction. Impaired mitochondrial efficiency reduces cellular energy production and promotes oxidative stress. 3. Chronic inflammation. Persistent low-grade inflammation contributes to vascular damage, fatty liver disease, and neurodegeneration. 4. Dyslipidemia. Elevated triglycerides, reduced HDL cholesterol, and increased small, dense LDL particles elevate cardiovascular risk. If left unchecked, these metabolic disruptions contribute to conditions such as atherosclerosis, hypertension, polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, Alzheimer's disease, and even cancers. The primary drivers of the metabolic pandemic. The metabolic pandemic is not a result of genetic predisposition alone. Environmental and lifestyle factors play the major role in shaping metabolic health. 1. Ultra-processed diets and excessive sugar intake. The widespread consumption of refined carbohydrates, industrial seed oils, and added sugars has led to chronic hyperinsulinemia and fat accumulation. High fructose diets contribute to hepatic lipogenesis, leading to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD. 2. Physical inactivity and sedentary behavior. A lack of muscle engagement leads to insulin resistance, impaired glucose disposal, and reduced metabolic rate. A meta-analysis published in The Lancet demonstrated that prolonged sedentary behavior correlates with a 30% increased risk of all-cause mortality. 3. Circadian disruption and sleep deprivation. Shift work, late-night screen exposure, and poor sleep hygiene disrupt the hypothalamic-pituitary-adrenal (HPA) axis, increasing cortisol levels and exacerbating insulin resistance. 4. Environmental toxins and endocrine disruptors. Persistent organic pollutants, POPs, bisphenol A, BPA, and phthalate interfere with hormone signaling, leading to metabolic dysfunction. Early warning signs of metabolic dysfunction. Early metabolic dysfunction often goes undiagnosed. However, several biomarkers and symptoms can indicate a compromised metabolic state. Elevated fasting insulin and glucose levels, greater than 100 mg per deciliter, suggests insulin resistance. Increased waist-to-hip ratio, indicative of visceral adiposity. Postprandial glucose spikes, indicating poor glycemic control. Persistent fatigue and cognitive impairment, suggesting mitochondrial inefficiency. Hypertension and dyslipidemia. Routine metabolic health assessments, including fasting insulin, HOMA-IR, homeostatic model assessment of insulin resistance, and continuous glucose monitoring, can provide early detection before the onset of chronic disease. Strategies for reversing metabolic dysfunction. The good news is that metabolic dysfunction is reversible through targeted lifestyle interventions. 1. Dietary modifications. Prioritizing metabolic flexibility. Whole, nutrient-dense foods rich in fiber, polyphenols, and healthy fats improve insulin sensitivity. Low glycemic eating patterns, such as ketogenic or Mediterranean diets, have demonstrated efficacy in restoring metabolic function. Time-restricted eating, TRE, optimizes circadian metabolism and enhances fat oxidation. 2. Strength training and physical activity. Resistance training increases glucose uptake by skeletal muscle, improving insulin sensitivity. Zone 2 aerobic exercise enhances mitochondrial biogenesis and fat oxidation. 3. Sleep and circadian rhythm optimization. Maintaining consistent sleep-wake cycles regulates metabolic hormones such as melatonin, cortisol, and ghrelin. 4. Stress reduction and hormonal balance. Mindfulness practices, meditation, and breath work reduce sympathetic nervous system overactivation. Magnesium, vitamin 3, adaptogens, and omega-3 fatty acids support stress resilience and reduce inflammation's buildups. Final message: the urgency of addressing the metabolic pandemic. The metabolic pandemic is one of the greatest public health challenges of our time. However, it is preventable and, in many cases, reversible. By understanding the root causes and implementing evidence-based lifestyle interventions, individuals can reclaim their health and longevity. If this video provided valuable insights, like, subscribe, and share to spread awareness about metabolic health. And in the comments, let us know, what's one change you're making to improve your metabolism today? Stay informed, stay empowered, and I'll see you in the next video.